Cleveland Indians baseball. It's Sunday, August 23rd, 1970. And unlike Indians baseball last week, this week the Indians are coming off a very good week. We'll do a quick recap of it. Last Sunday in Milwaukee, the Indians were trying to end the 6-game losing streak. They finished 9 innings in Milwaukee. The Indians and the Brewers were tied 4-4. And then in the 13th inning, the Indians let loose, scoring 3 runs. Let's see, Eddie Leone hit a home run. That broke the tie. And then base hits by Ted Uhlaender and Chuck Hinton raised Cleveland's lead to 7-4. Then in the bottom of the 13th, with 1 out, the Brewers loaded the bases. And then Danny Walton doubled down the right field line, driving in 2 runs, cutting the Indians' lead to 7-6. Then Mike Hegan was intentionally walked. He was on base representing the winning run when Phil Roof grounded into a very quick shortstop to home to first base double play to end the game and preserving the Indians' win. They had won the game 7-6. Then right after the 13-inning game, they flew out to Anaheim, and the next night, Monday night, they played the Angels. That was Sam McDowell going up against phenom Andy Messersmith. And McDowell, he only struck out 4, but gave up 6 hits and 3 runs, and the Indians won that game 7-3. He raised his record to 21-8. And Ted Uhlaender was hurt. They thought he might be out for about 10 days to 2 weeks. So the Indians' injury merry-go-round is continuing. Then the next night in California, there was, after a rain delay in the 8th, the 9th inning ended and they were tied 2-2. And then in the bottom of the 10th, Alex Johnson singled. Then he stole second. Jim Spencer was intentionally walked. And Jim Fregosi hit a 3-run homer to end the game. Cleveland lost that game 5-2. That was Rick Austin gave up the home run and he took the loss. Rich Hand had been the starting pitcher and he pitched a pretty good game. Gave up 2 runs. He gave up 2 solo home runs. One to Alex Johnson and one to Jim Fregosi. So the home run that Fregosi hit in the bottom of the 10th was his second home run of the game. Then on Wednesday night in California, Steve Hargan went up against Tom Murphy. And Hargan's been pitching pretty well since he came back from the disabled list in his short stint at Wichita. Had a little bit of trouble with his control this game. Gave up 5 walks. But the Indians won that game 7-4. Buddy Bradford, who had come off the bench to play in place of Ted Uhlaender, went 3 for 4 with a home run, and he drove in 5 runs. As Cleveland leaves Anaheim, taking 2 out of 3 from the first place Angels. Thursday was an off day. And Friday night, the Indians played Oakland. That was Steve Dunning pitching against Chuck Dobson, who was making his first appearance against the Indians since his no-hitter. And this was a game that featured 7 home runs. 3 from the A's, 1 by Bert Campaneris, 1 by Don Mincher. Those were both off Steve Dunning. 1 by Dick Green off of Rick Austin. And the Indians hit 4 home runs. Buddy Bradford hit 1 off Chuck Dobson. Greg Nettles hit 1 off Chuck Dobson. Eddie Leone hit a 3-run home run off of Chuck Dobson in the 7th. That gave the Indians the lead, 5-3. Roy Foster hit a home run off Chuck Dobson. The Indians win that game 6-4. And every one of the runs in that game were scored as the result of home runs. And then yesterday afternoon against Oakland, it was Sam McDowell against Jim Hunter. Sam McDowell struck out 11, and the Indians just let loose against Oakland. They scored 14 runs off 14 hits and 1 Oakland error. They continued their home run hitting with 4 home runs yesterday. Ray Fosse hitting 1 off Hunter. Greg Nettles hitting 2 off Hunter. And Roy Foster hitting 1 off Marcel Latchman. Vada Pinson went 3 for 4. Fosse went 2 for 3. Nettles went 3 for 5. Eddie Leone went 2 for 4. That was Sam McDowell raised his record to 22-8. Steve McGorry pitched the last inning. And he had some trouble. He walked 1, but he faced 4 hitters. He threw 13 pitches, and only 4 of them were strikes. But he's a young kid getting his feet wet in the majors, so they're going to be kind of patient with him, I think. And that's all for the pregame. And we will be back in a moment with the start of the game. All right, we're at Cleveland Municipal Stadium for Cleveland Indians baseball. It's Sunday, October 23rd. This is game 125 for the Indians this season. Indians had a good week last week. They are back in second place, a half game ahead of the Yankees, and they are 10 games behind Baltimore. Baltimore has lost 5 of their last 6. Blue Moon Odom takes him out for Oakland. He's made 22 starts on the year and is 8-8 with an ERA of 4.31. It's his third start against Cleveland. He's 1-1 with an 8.44 ERA against the Indians. He'll be opposed by Steve Hargan. He's made 10 starts. He's 5-4 with an ERA of 3.05. This is his second start against Oakland. It's 75 degrees. Wind speed is 4 miles per hour, left to right. So the wind is coming off the lake. The Oakland A's starting lineup will be leading off in left field, Felipe Alou. Batting second to second baseman, Tony La Russa. Batting third to first baseman, Don Mincher. Batting fourth to third baseman, Sal Bando. Batting fifth to center fielder, Reggie Jackson. Batting sixth to shortstop, Bert Campaneris. Batting seventh to catcher, Dave Duncan. Batting eighth to right fielder, Steve Hovley. And batting ninth to pitcher, Blue Moon Odom. On defense, at first base, the Indians have Duke Sims. It's like right after Jack Heidemann and Ted Uhlaender came back from injury, Tony Horton went down with an injury. They're guessing he's going to miss about 2 weeks. Second base is Eddie Leone. Shortstop is Jack Heidemann. Greg Nettles at third base. Roy Foster in left field. Ted Uhlaender in center. Vada Pinson in right field. Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound is Steve Hargan. Steve Hargan is 5-4 with an ERA of 3.05. He's pitched 91 in the third innings. He's given up 84 hits, 9 home runs, which isn't bad for pitching at Cleveland Stadium, because this year Cleveland Stadium has seen more home runs hit in it than any other ballpark. 42 strikeouts. He has a whip of 1.248, and opposing hitters are hitting 248 against him. Said he had one start against Oakland. See what he did against them. He's a 3-game winning streak going. Oakland. That was August 10th, or August 12th, rather. Pitched 9 innings. Gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, but the Indians lost that game, but he did not get the loss. All right, and leading off is Felipe Alou. Lou's hitting 275, 10 home runs, and 41 runs batted in. And here's the first pitch. He hits a fly ball to center field. Uhlaender coming in. He's got it. 1 out. Here's the second baseman, Tony La Russa. He's hitting 220. No home runs, 1 run batted in. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Here's Don Mincher, the first baseman. He's hitting 237. He has 23 home runs and 71 runs batted in. Ball 4. Runner on first, 2 outs. And here's Sal Bando. He's hitting 265, 17 home runs, 63 runs batted in. Bando is a Northeastern Ohio native, having grown up in North Randall, Ohio. It's the first pitch. That caught the corner. Strike one. Fly ball to center. Eulander going back, but it's gone. Home run. Home run number 18 for Bando. And Oakland jumps out to a 2-0 lead. Here's Reggie Jackson, who's hitting 254 with 26 home runs and 72 runs batted in. Hitting 198 in August. A 2-2 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Pinson's there, and he's got it. But Oakland gets 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors. No one left. We go to the bottom of the first. Oakland 2, Cleveland coming to bat. They brought in the fences this year at Cleveland Stadium. And the stadium has gone from being one of the tougher home run parks to the easiest home run park this season at least. The Indians starting lineup will have Ted Eulander leading off. He's in center field. Batting second is Eddie Leone, the second baseman. Batting third is a catcher, Ray Fosse. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Roy Foster. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Duke Sims. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Jack Heidemann. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Steve Hargan. On defense, Oakland has Don Mincher at first, Tony La Russa at second, Bert Campaneris at short, Sal Bando at third, Felipe Alou in left, Reggie Jackson in center, Steve Hovley in right, Dave Duncan catching, and on the mound is Blue Moon Odom. Odom's a fastball pitcher. I don't think he's quite as fast as Sam McDowell and Steve Dunning. Odom has a record of 8-8, an ERA of 4.31. He's pitched 123 and a third innings. He's given up 110 hits. 14 of those were home runs. He has walked 74 and struck out 96. Opposing hitters are hitting 237 against him. Leading off is Ted Eulander, the center fielder. He's hitting .314 with 11 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Jackson drifting back. He's on the track, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Eddie Leone, the second baseman. He's hitting .250 with 11 home runs and 57 runs batted in. He's hitting .260 against Oakland. It's ground ball to third. Bando's up with it to throw to first. 2 outs. Here is Ray Fosse, the catcher. He's hitting .319 with 20 home runs and 65 runs batted in. The 2-1 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Campaneris has it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland. We played 1. It's Oakland 2, Cleveland nothing. Cleveland's going for the series sweep today. In the second inning for Oakland will be Bert Campaneris, Dave Duncan, and Steve Hovley. Campaneris, the shortstop's hitting .281 with 21 home runs and 76 runs batted in. 1-1 pitch. Hits a bouncer down the first base line. Sims has it. He's going to run to first, but Campaneris beats him. Great hustle down the line for Campaneris. And Sims, maybe he should have tried to toss it to Hargan. Campaneris on first, nobody out. Caminero has 26 steals this season. He's been caught stealing 8 times. And let's see Ray Fosse's percentage. Ray Fosse has had 29 bases stolen while he was catching and 26 caught stealing. So runners trying to steal off him have a 52.7% chance of being safe. Here is Dave Duncan, who's hitting .260 with 5 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Throw to first. He's safe. Swing and a miss. Strike one. There goes Campaneris. Line drive into right field. Pinson has it. Throwback to first. And they got Campaneris. Nice play by Vada Pinson. Let's watch that one again. Campaneris looked like it was a hit and run. And he was too far off. He needs to end up with a double play there. Here is Steve Hovley, the right fielder. He's hitting .129, no home runs and 5 runs batted in. He came over to Oakland from Milwaukee. He's hitting .333 against Cleveland. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Oakland 2, Cleveland nothing. For Cleveland in the second, it will be Pinson, Foster, and Nettles. The Reds and the Mets are underway at Shea Stadium. They have a doubleheader today. Those two teams might be facing off against each other in the National League Championship Series. And so far, New York's taken 2 in a row against Cincinnati. All right, here is Vada Pinson, hitting .272, 24 home runs, and 93 runs batted in. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here is Roy Foster, the rookie left fielder. He's hitting .257 with 18 home runs and 57 runs batted in. He's in the running for Rookie of the Year, along with guys like Thurman Munson and Bert Blyleven. Who else? Tom Timmerman of the Tigers. Danny Walton. All right, Foster. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 2 outs. Second strikeout of the inning for Odom. And here is Greg Nettles hitting .243, 24 home runs, and 63 runs batted in. Both leagues have having a good race for Rookie of the Year. Nettles hitting .213 in August, a 3-1 pitch. It's a slow roller to first. Minshew's up with it, and he'll take it himself. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the second. After 2, it is Oakland 2, Cleveland nothing. National League has players like Wayne Simpson, Bertie Carbo, Carl Morton, Bob Robertson. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody off of there, but those are some of the players that will be up for the Rookie of the Year in the National League. In the third inning for Oakland, it will be Blue Moon Odom, Alou, and La Russa. Odom is hitting .171, 3 home runs and 13 runs batted in. He has 7 hits this year, 1 double, 1 triple, and 3 home runs. So 5 of his 7 hits are for extra bases. Here's a 3-2 pitch. It's a liner down the right field line, but that's foul. Full count. It's ground ball. It bounces right in front of the plate. Fosse picks it up. Throw to first, but he's safe. Odom has an infield single. Bottom of the first, it's Shea. Mets have scored 3. They lead the Reds 3-0. Here is Felipe Alou, who's 0 for 1. Pop up third base side. Nettles going, but it makes the seats. Too high, ball 1. It's base hit in center field. Odom rounds second, but he's going to stay there. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Here's Tony La Russa, who's 0 for 1. He struck out last time up. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball 1. It's base hit into center field. Odom rounds third. And he will score as Uhlaender throws into the cutoff man. That makes it Oakland 3, Cleveland nothing. Still nobody out. Runners on first and second. And here's Don Mincher. He walked his last time up. Sitting .245 with 4 home runs with runners in scoring position. That was at the belt level. Strike 1. Called strike. Strike 2. Fouls it back. Count remains 0-2. Outside, ball 1. High and outside, ball 2. Ooh, that hit him. He tried to get out of the way, but it caught him in his midsection. And he just drops bat and goes first. I'm sure everybody in the park knew that Hargan was not trying to hit him. Especially in this situation, which loads the bases with nobody out. And here's Sal Bando, who's 1 for 1. He hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. He's 2 for 7 with the bases loaded. He swung at a bad pitch, strike 1. Too high, ball 1. Ball 2, too low. Oh, he got hit. Now that Fosse's holding Bando. Bando's yelling it. And they just ejected Steve Hargan. And scored the 4th run of the game. They thought that looked too much like a purpose pitch, so he's gone. And they will call in Dean Chance. Dean Chance this is his 30th appearance of the season. He's 7-4 with a save. He has an ERA of 3.93. He's pitched 121 in the third innings. He's given up 115 hits, given up 17 home runs, 45 walks, and he has struck out 83. The opposition is hitting .253 against him. So he comes in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and Reggie Jackson up. Jackson flied to deep right field in the first inning. Jackson's been having kind of a tough season. There was talk of him being sent to the minors, and he threatened to jump the team. So Charlie Finley backed off, I guess, against sending Jackson down to the minors. I caught the corner. Strike one. Down and in, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Inside, ball two. Strike three called. That's one out. Here's Bert Campaneris, who's 1 for 1. He had an infield single. He has one grand slam on the season. Just off the ground, ball one. Way off the plate, ball two. It's a fly ball to center. Uhlaender going back near the track. He's got it. And La Russa tags up and scores. It is 5-0 Oakland. 2 outs. Here's Dave Duncan, who's 0 for 1. He lined out to Veda Pinson. And that caught Bert Campaneris off first in the second inning. Low and away, ball one. Ball two. Strike one called. Hits a fly ball to center. Uhlaender drifting over, and he's got it. 3 outs. But Oakland gets 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Oakland 5, Cleveland nothing. For the Indians in the bottom of the third, it will be Duke Sims, Jack Heideman, and Dean Chance. Duke Sims is hitting .266 with 17 home runs and 51 runs batted in. The 0-2 pitch. Gets a base hit up the middle. Ooh, the game's being harsh on Bert Campaneris. Said Campaneris should have made the play. Duke Sims continues his hot hitting against Oakland. Let's see what he's doing against Oakland. He's hitting .387 against Oakland. 12 hits, 4 doubles, 2 home runs. Say that's not too bad. Here is Jack Heideman, the shortstop. He's hitting .187 with 3 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Last week, the Sporting News mentioned how Jack Heideman and Eddie Leon were minor league rivals who didn't get along very well because they figured they were both fighting for the shortstop position with the Indians. But then last season, during spring training, they kind of bonded. And now they're like best friends, and they're an excellent defensive combination for Cleveland. Heideman hitting .186 against right-handers. He hits a base hit in the right field. Nobody's there. They got Simmons caught off second. He's going for third. He is out at third. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, Hovley came in too fast. Tried to get back, but then he made for third, and Bando tagged him out. That's 1 out. Here is Dean Chance. He's hitting .086. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. He is 3 for 35 this year. He is notoriously one of the worst hitting pitchers in baseball. He lays down a bunt in front of the plate. Duncan has it. His only throws the first. Throws a La Russa covering, and Heidemann moves to second on the sacrifice. Here's Ted Uhlaender, who's 0 for 1. Ball gets away from Duncan. Heidemann's going for third. Duncan got the ball. He throws the third, but Heidemann is safe at third. They're giving Duncan a pass ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Caught the corner, strike 1. Ball 3. Uhlaender hits a base hit up the middle. Heidemann scores. And Uhlaender around for first. On the first with a single. And the Indians are on the board. They trail 5-1. Here's Eddie Leon, who's 0 for 1 today. He grounded to third last time up. Ball 1. Strike 1 called. Ball 2. Fouls it back. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ball 3. It's a line drive to second, right at La Russa. He's got it, and that ends the inning. But the Indians get 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. 1 left. We played 3. It is Oakland 5, Cleveland 1. And let's take a look around the league. Bottom of the third at Shea Stadium, the Mets lead the Reds 3-1. It's Tony Cloninger against Jerry Koosman. That's game 1 of a doubleheader. Top of the second in Comiskey Park. No score between the Yankees and the White Sox. That's Mel Stottlemyre against John Miller. That's game 1 of a doubleheader also. Bottom of the fourth in Detroit. Tigers lead the Brewers 2-1. Mike Hegan hit his 7th home run. That's Skip Lockwood against Mike Kilkenny. Bottom of the third in Philadelphia. Phillies lead the Astros 5-2. Cesar Cedeno hit his 3rd home run for Houston. That is Wade Blasingame against Billy Champion. Bottom of the 5th in Baltimore. Orioles lead the Angels 1-0. The Orioles are trying to avoid being swept by the Angels. It's Clyde Wright against Tom Phoebus. Bottom of the 1st in Minnesota. No score between the Senators and the Twins. That is Dick Bosman against our old friend Louis Tiant. And bottom of the 1st in Kansas City. Red Sox and Royals, no score. That is Mike Nagy against Jim Rooker. Top of the 4th for Oakland will be Hovley, Odom, and Alou. Steve Hovley is 0 for 1 today. The 1-2 pitch. Hits a grounder to second. Leon dives from his knees. Throws him out. Nice play by Eddie Leon. Seems like right after I mentioned with him and Heidemann being an excellent infield combo. The infield of Tony Horton, Eddie Leone, Jack Heidemann, and Greg Nettles has been pretty good for Cleveland this year. Here's Blue Moon Odom. He singled on the infield last time up. He's 1 for 1. It's a fly ball to left field. Roy Foster's there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Spoiler alert. Blue Moon Odom will be a member of the Cleveland Indians for a very short time. Here's Felipe Alou, who's 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. Singled and scored in the third. 2-2 pitch, bouncer to second. Leone up with it. Throw to first, 3 outs. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for Oakland in the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is Oakland 5, Cleveland 1. For Cleveland in the fourth will be Ray Fosse, Vada Pinson, and Roy Foster. Fosse is 0 for 1. He grounded the short last time up. He has a 7-game hitting streak, hitting .323 against right-handers. The 3-2 pitch, ball 4, he walks. Here's Vada Pinson, who's 0 for 1. He struck out his last time up. Low, ball 1. That was low, ball 2. That just caught the corners, strike 1. On the inside corner at the knee, strike 2. Just inside, ball 3, full count. Pops it up, third base side, Bando's after it, but it makes the seats. Full count, runner on first, nobody out. It's fly ball to right field. Hovley going back. It is off the wall. Pinson to second. Fosse rounds third. He'll score. That is double number 21 for Vada Pinson. And the Indians cut the lead to 5-2. They have a runner on second in scoring position. Still nobody out. And here is Roy Foster, who's 0 for 1. He struck out his last time up, hitting .193 with 4 home runs with runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Strike 1. Ball 1. Ball 2. It's a base hit in the left center. Pinson rounds third. And he'll score. 5-3 Cleveland. Sal Bando got a late jump on that one. Runner on first. Nobody out. The Indians have 2 runs in this inning. Here is Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 1. He grounded to first last time up. Duke Sims is on deck. High, ball 1. Way outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Fouls it back, strike 2. Full count. Nobody out. Runner on first. Fouls it back. Count remains full. Ball 4. That was high and away. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Here is Duke Sims, who's 1 for 1. He singled up the middle last time up. Duke Sims went into spring training expecting to be a starting catcher this year, but he lost the job essentially to Ray Fosse, but he's become the Indians' super sub. Filling in at first base when Tony Horton was out, and in the outfield when Roy Foster and Ted Uhlaender have been out. And he's also the backup catcher still. He looks at strike 2. Ball 1. Way off the plate. Ball 2. Strike 3 called. 1 out. Here's Jack Heidemann, who is 1 for 1. He singled to right field last time up, but Duke Sims got caught off second base. That may have cost the Indians a run. Low, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball 2. Hits a bouncer, shortstop. Campaneris. Throw to second. Throw to first, not in time. Indians have runners at the corners. 2 outs. And here is Dean Chance. He sacrifices last time up. Fouls it back, strike 1. You see Odom. Yeah, he's thrown 79 pitches, 47 strikes, and 32 balls, so he's having some trouble with his control. Fly ball down the right field line, but it makes the seats. Strike 2. Inside, ball 1. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 4 for Odom, but the Indians get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They left 2. So we played 4 in Cleveland. It is Oakland 5, Cleveland 3. For Oakland in the 5th will be La Russa, Mincher, and Bando. La Russa is 1 for 2. He singled in the 3rd, driving in Blue Moon Odom. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And here's Don Mincher. He walked and was hit by a pitch. In fact, he was the first player hit by a pitch by Steve Hargan. It's fly ball to right field. Pinson's there, and he's got it. This is the second time that Hargan was ejected from a game. He was ejected from a game back in April for the same reason. Here's Sal Bando's 1 for 1. He had a 2-run homer in the 1st, and he was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. That scored a Lou, and Steve Hargan got thrown out of the game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hits a bouncer back to the box. Chance up with it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across in the top of the 5th for Oakland. It is the A's 5, the Indians 3. Bottom of the 5th for Cleveland will be Ted Uhlaender, Eddie Leone, and Ray Fosse. Uhlaender is 1 for 2. He singled in the 3rd, and it scored Jack Heidemann with the Indians' first run. The 0-1 pitch, grounder to 3rd. Bando's up with it. Throw to first, 1 out. And here's Eddie Leone, who's 0 for 2. Line to second and 3rd. The 2-2 pitch. It's base hit in the right field. And the stands are perking up. Ray Fosse's up. He is 0 for 1 today with a ground out and a walk. He has a 7-game hitting streak. He has 20 home runs this year. He was a starting catcher in the All-Star game. He looks like he's got a good future ahead of him. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Fossey and McDowell were in the All-Star game for the Indians. Outside, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a fly ball to left field. Felipe Alou drifting over, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Veda Pinson, who's 1 for 2. He doubled in the 4th, scoring Fossey. Members of the Indians were a little salty that Veda Pinson didn't make the All-Star team. It's a liner down the first base line, but that's foul. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Down, ball 2. Fouls it back. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ball 3. Full count, 2 outs. He tipped that one. Count remains full. Fly ball down the right field line. Hovley after it, but it makes the seats. The difference in foul ground between Cleveland Stadium and Oakland Alameda Coliseum is pretty significant. Liner down the first base line. That's foul. Fouls it back. It's the 4th foul in a row off Odom. Another foul into right field. Ball 4. Yo moves to second. Pinson on first. Here's Roy Foster, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th. And that scored Veda Pinson. Up and in, ball 1. Hits a bouncer to second. La Russa, throw to first. 3 outs. No runs. 1 hit, no errors. 2 left. We played 5. It is Oakland 5, Cleveland 3. It's an official game. Oakland has 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors. They've left 2 on base. Cleveland has 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They've left 5 men on base. Oakland scored 2 in the 1st when Sal Bando hit a 2-run home run. Then in the 3rd, with runners on first and second, La Russa singled up the middle, scoring Odom. That made it 3-0. Then Mincher was hit by a pitch that loaded the bases. Bando was hit by a pitch, scoring Alou. Hargan got ejected. That made it 4-0. And Campaneris hit a sacrifice fly, scoring La Russa. That made it 5-0. Then in the bottom of the 3rd, Sims singled. Heidemann singled, but Sims was out in a rundown. Chance hit a sacrifice bunt. Heidemann took second. Then Heidemann took third on a pass ball, and he scored on Ted Eulander's single. That made it 5-1. Then in the 4th inning, Fossey walked. Pinson doubled, scoring Fossey. And Foster singled, scoring Pinson. And that's all the scoring we've had so far. In the 6th inning for Oakland, it will be Reggie Jackson, Bert Campaneris, and Dave Duncan. Reggie Jackson, he's 0 for 2. Hit a deep flyout, and he struck out. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bert Campaneris, he is 1 for 1 with a single and a sacrifice fly. 2-2 pitch. It's fly ball. Left field, that's going back. back, and it's gone. Home run. It's home run number 22 for Bert Campaneris in his 7th against Cleveland. So Oakland increases their lead to 6-3. Here is Dave Duncan, who's 0 for 2. He lined into a double play in the second and flew out to center last time up. He hits a grounder to short. Heidemann gathers it in and throws him out. 2 outs. And here's Steve Hovley, who's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. 1-1 pitch. It's grounder to short. Heidemann has it. Throw to first. And that's all for Oakland in the 6th. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. No one left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Oakland 6, Cleveland 3. Bottom of the 6th for Cleveland will be Greg Nettles, Duke Sims, and Jack Heidemann. Nettles is 0 for 1. He had a ground out and a walk. The 0-2 pitch. It's a liner in the center field. Jackson coming in, and he takes it on the short hop. Base hit for Nettles. Here is Duke Sims, who's 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. Way outside, ball 1. Strike 1 called, another fastball. Too low, ball 2. It's a sharp grounder to first. Minchard to Campaneris. Back to first. Double play. 3-6-3 double play. They just got Sims at first. Here is Jack Heidemann, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the first. Or in the third, in his first at bat. It's fly ball at center. Jackson coming in. He's got it. 3 outs. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. No one left. We've played 6. It is Oakland 6, Cleveland 3. In the 7th inning for Oakland will be Odom, Alou, and La Russa. Coming in a pinch hit for Blue Moon Odom is Rick Monday. Rick Monday's hitting .290 with 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Pinch hitting, he is hitting .472 with 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. He was the first overall pick in baseball's first overall free agent draft back in 1965. And he came up to the A's for good in Kansas City in 1967. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a liner, right field, Pinson. He takes that one on the short hop. And Monday's on first with a base hit. Looked like Pinson gave a quick thought of diving for the ball, but he didn't. Here is Felipe Alou. He is 1 for 3. He has a single. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. It's a soft grounder to short. Heidemann's only play is the first. Throws to Sims. Alou is out. Monday takes second. Here is Tony La Russa, who is 1 for 3. He singled into third, driving in Blue Moon Odom. Fouls it back. Strike one. Strike two called. Ball one. Inside, ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check swing. They appeal. No swing. Ball three. Ball four. Ugh. Gotta hate when that happens, when they start with an 0-2 count and walk the guy. Here is Don Mincher, who's 0 for 1. He walked, was hit by a pitch, and flied out to deep right field. Sal Bando's on deck. Right down the middle, strike one. Low, ball one. Strike two called. High and outside, ball two. It's base hit in the right field. Monday rounds third. He's going to hold at third. And Vince Colbert is warming up in the bullpen. Here's Sal Bando. He has 3 RBIs today. He is 1 for 2. He had a 2-run homer. Was hit by a pitch that scored Felipe Alou. Hargan got ejected after that, and he grounded to the pitcher. They are bringing the infield in to cut off run at the plate. Fouled on the left field line, but it makes the seats. Probably near the seats that my dad, my brother, and I would have been sitting in if we were at this game. It's a grounder to short. Heidemann, throw to the plate. To first. Double play. The 6-2-3 double play. They get out of that jam. No runs, 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Oakland 6, Cleveland 3. And let's go back around the league. Bottom of the 8th at Shea. Mets lead the Reds 4-1. That is Don Gullett against Jerry Koosman. Koosman, who had a good year last year, he missed a big chunk of the season with injuries this year. But it looks like he might be back to pitching at full strength, just like Tom Seaver seems to have kicked whatever was ailing him earlier in the season. Top of the 6th in Chicago. White Sox lead the Yankees 4-2. Walt Williams hit his 8th home run for Chicago. That is Stottlemyre against Miller. Bottom of the 8th in Detroit. Tigers 3. Milwaukee 2. Dick McAuliffe hit his 19th home run for Detroit. Detroit is probably the most ice-cold team in the majors right now. In fact, they let Washington pass them up, and they're in last place in the AL East. That is Skip Lockwood right now facing Tom Timmerman. Timmerman's having an excellent rookie season as a Tigers relief pitcher. Bottom of the 7th in Philadelphia, the Phillies lead the Astros 11-5. Darren Johnson hit his 22nd home run for Philadelphia. That is LeMaster against Wilson. Final in California. Baltimore snapped their losing streak. They had a 3-game losing streak. They beat California 3-0. Tom Phoebus got the win. He's 13-4. And Clyde Wright took the loss. He's 16-9. And bottom of the 5th in Kansas City, the Red Sox lead the Royals 4-3. Oliver hit his 23rd home run for Kansas City. And that is Mike Nagy against Jim Rooker. Mudcat Grant is coming in to pitch for Oakland. This is his 53rd appearance of the year. He is 6-5. He has 21 saves. He has an ERA of 3.38. In 72 innings, he's given up 82 hits, 10 home runs, 31 walks, 33 strikeouts. Mudcat Grant, he was the Rookie of the Year in 1958 when he went 20-13 for the Cleveland Indians. He went over to the Twins from the Indians in 1964. Then he went to the Dodgers. Then last season, he started the season in Montreal. And then he went over to St. Louis. And he came over to the Oakland in the offseason. He has a lifetime record of 137 and 137, 36 career saves. He also won 21 games for Minnesota in 1965. That was the year that they won the World Series. He had one start in that series, but he went 0-1, but looked like he pitched a pretty good game. For the Indians, it will be the pitcher spot, Uhlaender and Leone in the bottom of the 7th. Pinch hitting for Chance will be Buddy Bradford. Bradford's hitting .232 with 6 home runs and 17 runs batted in. He hit a home run against Oakland Friday. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hits a grounder to short. Campaneris is there. He's got it. Throw to first. 1 out. Here's Ted Uhlaender, who's 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd and scored Heidemann. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Eddie Leone, he's one for 3. He grounded a single in the 5th. Now it looks like Oakland did a double switch, too. Brought in Dick Green to play second, and he'll bat in the number 9 spot. And Mudcat Grant will be batting second in Tony La Russa's spot. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a base hit in the right field. 2 outs, runner on first. Here's Ray Fosse, who's 0 for 2. Get a ground out, a walk, and a fly out. Ball 1. Fouls it back. Strike 1. It's a line drive into right field. Hovley's right there and makes the catch. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 7 in Cleveland. It is Oakland 6, Cleveland 3. Coming in to pitch for Cleveland is Vince Colbert. He was called back up from Wichita at the beginning of August. This is his 5th appearance since being called back up. In his 13th on the season, he is 0-1 with 1 save, an ERA of 6.00. 12 innings pitched. He has given up 11 hits, 1 home run, 11 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Here's Reggie Jackson, who's 0 for 3. The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. That is Jackson's 3rd strikeout today. 1 out. Here's Bert Campaneris. He's 2 for 2. He singled, hit a sacrifice fly, and hit a solo home run. The 0-1 pitch. It's a line drive right to third, and Nettles has it. 2 outs. And here's Dave Duncan, who's 0 for 3. He lined out into a double play, flied out to deep right center, and grounded to short. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a pop-up on the infield. Leone takes charge, and he's got it. 3 outs. Nothing across for Oakland in the bottom of the 8th, or the top of the 8th. Oakland 6, Cleveland 3. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 4 left on base for Oakland. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 6 men left on base for Cleveland. Bottom of the 8th, it will be Vada Pinson, Roy Foster, and Greg Nettles. Pinson's 1 for 2. He doubled in the 4th, driving in a run, and he walked. The 1-1 pitch. It's base hit in right field. Hovley's up with it and gets it back in. Pinson is on first with a single. Here's Roy Foster, who's 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th, and that scored Pinson. It's fly ball, left field. Philippe Alou near the wall, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 1 for 2. Get a walk and a single. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Fly ball down the right field line. That's foul. Strike 2. High and inside. Ball 1. Ball 2. Strike 3 called. 2 outs. Here's Duke Sims, who's 1 for 3. He singled, struck out, and grounded into a double play. High and outside. Ball 1. Oakland pitchers have been having trouble with their control this game, but the Indians have not been able to capitalize on it. It's a grounder up the middle. Green takes it, to Campaneris. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 8. It is Oakland 6, Cleveland 3. In the 9th inning for Oakland, it will be Hovley, Green, and Alou. Steve Hovley is 0 for 3. Strikeout and a pair of groundouts. It's a bouncer to second. Leone up with it to first. 1 out. Here is Dick Green. This is first at bat of the game. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Felipe Alou, he is 1 for 4. He singled in the 3rd. The 1-2 pitch. It's a base hit up the middle. That's his 2nd hit of the game. Leone dove for it, but was too slow on it. Mudcat Grant. They're calling him back, and here is John Donaldson, the pinch hit. Donaldson is hitting 143 with 1 home run and 2 runs batted in. He is 4 for 28. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting 118 with 1 run batted in. Donaldson came up with the Kansas City A's. He went to the Pilots in the expansion draft, then was reacquired by Oakland. It's a long fly ball, right field. Pinson going back. That is gone. Home run. Home run number 2 for Donaldson, and that'll make it 8-3. Here is Don Mincher, who's 1 for 2. Walked. He was hit by a pitch. Fly to right field, and he singled in the 7th. The 0-1 pitch. Hits a fly ball to right field. Pinson's there, and he's got it. But the A's get 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. No one left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Oakland 8, Cleveland 3. Marcel Lechman coming in to pitch for Oakland. He's making his 30th appearance of the year. He has a record of 3-0 with 2 saves. He's appeared in 26 innings. He's given up 24 hits, 1 home run. He's walked 12 and struck out 19. It'll be Heidemann, a pinch hitter, and Eulander for the Indians. Jack Heidemann is 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pinch hitting for Colbert will be Vern Fuller. Vern Fuller, he got hurt in spring training, and he's been playing hurt all year. He's like the 25th man on the team. He is 3 for 52 on the season, 0.58 batting average. Here's a 2-0 pitch. It's a pop-up. Foul territory. Campaneris chasing it. And he's got it. 2 outs. Here is Ted Eulander, who's 1 for 4. The Indians are down to their last out. He singled in the 3rd, and that drove in Jack Heidemann. He hits a base hit in the center. The Indians are still alive. Game's underway at Dodger Stadium. Pirates take an early 1-0 lead against the Dodgers. Here's Eddie Leone, who's 2 for 4. He singled his last 2 appearances. Ball 1. Checked his swing, but called strike. It's a bouncer to first. Mincher to underhand the Latchman. And that's the game. Oakland wins 8-3. It was 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Oakland. 3 runs, 10 hits for Cleveland. Blue Moon Odom gets the win. He is 9-8. Mudcat Grant gets a hold. That's number 4 for him on the season. Steve Hargan takes a loss. He is 5-5. He looks like he lost his head after giving up 5 earned runs in 2 innings. 2 innings plus, actually. Hit 2 batters in a row, Mincher and Bando, and was ejected. Dean Chance pitched well in relief. Going 5 innings. Gave up 3 hits, walked 1. He gave up 1 home run. And Vince Colbert looked like he was doing pretty well in relief until he gave up a 2-run homer to John Donaldson. Colbert was right on the plate. He threw 29 pitches, and 24 of those were strikes. So except for that John Donaldson at bat, he actually looked pretty good. And Donaldson was not the guy you'd be expecting to hit a home run. The home run derby continued today, but except it was all Oakland. Oakland hit 3 home runs. Bando hit a 2-run homer in the first. Campaneris hit a solo home run in the 6th, and Donaldson hit a 2-run homer in the 9th. Star of the game is Bert Campaneris. Went 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in and a home run. Sal Bando went 1 for 3 with a home run. He drove in 3. And on the Cleveland side, Veda Pinson went 2 for 3 with a double. Eulander and Leone each went 2 for 5. Time of the game, 3 hours and 4 minutes. Once again, final score was Oakland 8, Cleveland 3. I hope you enjoyed the game, and thank you for watching.